I never went back to the pool. I feared water. I avoided it whenever I could. So William says that then he didn't go to the swimming pool as he feared the water. He remained away from water. A few years later, when I came to know the waters of the Cascades, I wanted to get into them. Cascades is a waterfall. So he says after some years, when he came to know of a waterfall and wanted to go in it. And whenever I did, whether I was wading the Titan or bumping river or bathing in warm lake of the goat rocks, the terror that had seized me in the pool would come back. So he says whenever he went for swimming in different rivers like the Titan, bumping river, warm lake of the goat rocks, the fear of water returned. That incident returned. It would take possession of me completely. So that incident would grab him completely. That incident was haunting him thoroughly all the time. My legs would become paralyzed. Icy horror would grab my heart. So that incident became so haunting for him for many coming years. This handicap stayed with me as the years rolled by. In canoes on main lakes, fishing for landlocked salmon, bass fishing in New Hampshire, trout fishing on the Deschutes and Mutolias in Oregon, fishing for salmon on the Columbia, at the Bumping Lake in the Cascades. Wherever I went, the haunting fear of the water followed me. It ruined my fishing trips, deprived me of the joy of canoeing, boating, and swimming. So the writer tells about various places, various rivers, on the boating trips to different lakes in the Maine region, New Hampshire, Deschutes, Mutolias, Columbia, Bumping Lake, wherever he fished different varieties of fish, namely salmon, bass, trout, the fear followed him. His fishing trips were destroyed as he did not enjoy boating and swimming due to the fear. I used every way I knew to overcome this fear, but it held me firmly in its grip. Finally, one October, I decided to get an instructor and learn to swim. I went to a pool and practiced 5 days a week, an hour each day. The instructor put a belt around me. A rope attached to the belt went through a pulley that ran on an overhead cable. He held on to the end of the rope and we went back and forth across the pool. Hour after hour, day after day, week after week, on each trip across the pool, a bit of the panic seized me. Each time the instructor relaxed his hold on the rope and I went under, some of the old terror returned and my legs froze. It was 3 months before the tension began to slack. Then he taught me to put my face under water and exhale, and to raise my nose and inhale. I repeated the exercise hundreds of times. Bit by bit, I shed part of the panic that seized me when my head went under water. William narrates that he tried to ward off the fear but was unable to get rid of it. Finally, in the month of October, he hired an instructor to teach him swimming. He would practice for an hour each day, 5 days a week. William describes the learning process. The instructor put a belt around William's waist and the belt was attached to a thick rope. The rope went through an overhead and was held by the instructor. It ensured that in case William drowned, the instructor would pull him out. William swam across the length of the pool for several weeks. Whenever the instructor loosened the rope, he went down into the water and the fear would return. It would immobilize his legs. It was after 3 months of practice that William got comfortable. Then the instructor taught him to breathe in the water. He taught him to put his face under the water and exhale his breath. He was taught to raise his nose out of the water and inhale. William practiced several times. Gradually, he got rid of the panic that would grab him when he put his head under the water. Next, he held me at the side of the pool and had me kick with my legs. For weeks, I did just that. At first, my legs refused to work, but they gradually relaxed and finally I could command them. So, William tells that how in the third phase of the learning process, the instructor taught William to kick the water surface with his legs. He did this for many weeks. Initially, his legs did not move, but gradually they relaxed, and finally, William could order them to kick in the desired way. Means now he was not feeling paralyzed.